For those readers who have followed me throughout my journey, I have to tell you that this new series, dealing with my life as an adult, is much more difficult to write with any degree of accuracy. Also, it is written rather differently than the 5 volumes covering my childhood. There are several reasons for this. This new series has to cover easily twice the number of years than the first series. There is far less detail in this volume. Most names have been changed because the people I'm writing about are, largely, still living, and almost all of them do not wish to be immortalised in print. Some people are identified as who they really are, and that is generally because they bloody well deserve to be. In previous volumes it has been easy to discern the villain of the moment. Quite often it was me. And so, who caused certain chain reactions? This volume shows that, even dozens of years after any type of traumatic or memorable event, a chain reaction can become a cascade. Generally, although I am undoubtedly the bad guy under almost all circumstances, the point is that the way I feel, think, and behave are always, without exception, flawed. My choices are never sound, and thus practically everything that has happened to me throughout my life has occurred as the result of my own actions and distinctly suspect morality, themselves the sum total of all that has happened to me. I'm getting on for retirement age as I write this last volume. I'd like to think that I've gained at least a little wisdom over the years, although I'm painfully aware of how little I know in the grand scheme of things. Sadly, I've never quite shaken off the naivety which allows me to get hurt. I'm still an appalling judge of character, and unfeigningly trust all the wrong people, for all the wrong reasons. In fact, I'm so easily battered and bruised emotionally that I have to hide my feelings from everybody, even those I love. The terrifying, unpredictable outbursts of violent rage have largely disappeared, and, one is always wise in hindsight, of course, I am quite certain that a large part of those frightening, uncontrollable tantrums were hormone-based, whether an excess of, or a deficiency of, or a perfect storm of raging natural chemicals. I'm even more convinced of this because, along with the menopause, Mother Nature bestowed other gifts: patience and tolerance of other people, restraint, at least the ability not to go with the knee-jerk reaction I'd always been prone to, and not least, a pair of reasonably sized, firm breasts, although they themselves bring a tummy too. It has been liberating not to have to suffer Dragon Week once a month, although in truth the dragony episodes lasted quite a lot longer than a week. In short, age has mellowed me somewhat, which is, I am reliably informed by a professor of psychiatry, perfectly normal. Of course, I still feel things much as I always have done, which means I frequently suffer a sensation of betrayal, even when none exists. Over the past 5 years in particular, I have become deeply suspicious of certain sections of society, although even my private thoughts on possible conspiracies and hidden truths don't seem to stop me from becoming embroiled in further trauma, whether I want to be or not. Although my life has been filled with pain, confusion, heartbreak, and many other negatives, the vast majority of which were no more than the perfectly obvious result of my own bad choices, there have been good times too. I think the point is, quite simply, that I survived against the odds many times over.